Hello everybody, and today we're playing Last Stand as well as giving some advice on it. So Last Stand is currently a limited time game mode. I kind of hope it becomes permanent. I don't know why they remove permanent game modes as a whole. I mean limited time game modes as a whole. They actually are my favorite game mode like that. I don't know if you guys were playing then, but there's a game mode called Pit that was my absolute favorite. And it's to start the game you want to get a wooden sword. This is just because armor, then you don't have a weapon, so yeah. And you don't want to start with a bow generally because you have a very limited amount of arrows, and you don't want to be spending your coal on arrows that early. Normally, you want to do that after you don't have much else to get. Since it seems I have 4 people on my team, this person seems to be good. The others seem to be so-so. Now, if you get hit a lot in that, you can get some apple. You can get an apple or two, depending on what you need. Now try to never heal to your full HP. Try to heal almost there. So my max right now is 100. So try to heal to like 80, for example. Because like here, I could get a potion, but I'm probably just gonna get 2 apples. But yeah, I'd recommend not getting armor straight away. Instead, saving up to get a stone sword. This isn't that drastic of a jump in power or anything, but it is a useful increase. So I'm seeing it's just a single zombie here, so I can literally just walk into it basically and still kill it. So that's why I didn't get another apple. I mean, eat another apple. So my teammate's currently dealing with these skeletons, so I'm just gonna jump in and help with melee damage. Oh, and I'm pretty low HP, so I'm just gonna eat another apple. I have 2 arrows, don't worry about those right now. But I'll show you some more actual techniques in a bit. Right now, it's more so focused on budget. Like, I still have no armor, so I'm gonna get wooden armor now. So this round, skeletons and frost zombies. I always recommend going for the melee mobs because they're just so much easier to kill. But if you have a bow or if you're just really good at dealing with skeletons, you can go for them. That's fine. That's an option. But it seems like my team also largely agrees. Also, you see, this person made a critical mistake. He got enchants on his armor, but he got cheap enchants, and 2, he got wood armor. There's no need to get it here. I'd recommend just hoarding your levels for now. So this is the hardest boss in the game, in my opinion. The skeleton boss does lots of damage, and also you can't really deal with it without having at least some bows or coordinating well with your teammates. And by coordinating well, I don't mean like hopping on Discord. I mean like taking turns attacking when you guys have different amounts of HP. Like I have very low right now, so I'm gonna go get potion because I can also afford it. So now I'm gonna be back to pretty much half health. I'll get a little over, but that's good enough for the next wave. I did have to spend 3 iron, and at this point iron is really limited, but it will get better pretty soon. And if you're wondering, this is the strategies I generally use to get to like round 30 to 40, depending on my teammates. Because after that, then the issues, it's just too many mobs for me to deal with by myself if my teammates are bad, or if I'm by myself, because I've gotten to like the 30s by myself. But at that point, it's really hard with how many monsters there are to deal with everything. Since the issue you face at that point, which I'll probably show you guys later, is that they just start bumping into each other, and that speeds them up. So you can't really do your regular strategies. As that wave was pretty easy. I took like at most like 5 damage, so I'm chill. I have 30 coal right now, so I'm gonna get an iron sword. Generally, I recommend getting swords over getting armor. And if you're wondering why this is, it's because I just genuinely prefer them a lot. Because you're damage dealing capability in this game was generally more important, since you can just come back to life after every round, every wave, even if your team is run out of team lives. And for skeletons, just pick them off one by one. Let them start fighting. I also recommend getting these arrows because it's just like just cheap and gets you some free stuff. But yeah, aside from that, especially right now since they have such low HP, try to pick them off and just try not to die otherwise. I died there because I was playing it much more risky than I had to, but it's fine because we still have lots of lives and I trust that my teammates can win. And if you do think your teammates can win, don't click the respawn button because see, our team lives stayed at 4, but I still got revived. That's because at the end of the wave, it automatically revives you. So those lives are the max you can lose in between, like in the middle of a round. So here, the golems start coming. I don't recommend doing what he did and using fireballs this early because he's not getting swarmed yet. And yeah, they do good damage, but there's no real need to waste iron on that yet because iron's still really tight. I lost like a good 50 health, but I'm still okay. I'm still playing a little bit more risky than I probably should be because of my lack of like accessible healing and all. But yeah, I'm gonna rely on my team to help me deal with this because that skeleton got distracted. This one it isn't, but I should be able to just evade it for a bit. Like I'm just alternating between A and D, and that was honestly enough to dodge a skeleton. Now I have the iron to also get iron health. Also, just as something I see every now and then, but I don't recommend at this point. Don't spend your diamond on splash instant healing potions because they are actually really useful. But I'd recommend getting them much later in the game after you've gotten the diamond sword and armor, and potentially diamond crossbow. But that's really depends how you play. Alright, that wave is pretty easy. Okay, we got a new person. I think they left. Yeah. And again, just pick off these skeletons. This person got kind of similar to me, but instead of getting iron armor, an iron sword, they got gold armor, which is an option, but I don't necessarily recommend it because you're left with much worse offense. And that's another person who did, but I really like this double iron stuff for these earlier rounds. Okay, this is a skeleton, and I have good amount of money, so I'm gonna get a crossbow. And I'd always recommend starting with a crossbow because it's one easier to aim and you can charge it before the round starts, which I'll explain the significance of in as soon as we finish this round. But so here, my teammates have aggroed him, so I can just go and get a couple hits on. Then they get a couple hits, then I can just hit him a bit. So my teammates are dying, and I'm pretty sure they're using our team's lives. But the safest way to deal with this is just to stand back and use your crossbow. Like I'm on full health right now. He's like half health, and I can just continue this. There's nothing he can do. He can't get out of the lava. So in a bit, I'm gonna finish. Okay, my teammates currently aggro him, so I can just kind of finish him off. And there, I didn't take that much damage, although my team did lose quite a few lives. So as a whole, they need to be a bit more careful. And with this 10, I can't really afford anything. But yeah, this is what I meant. So when I'm going in, I can just use it especially if they're aggro on other people and I want to deal with it. And this is actually a great group to start explaining how you can do large groups. Just continue to hold down A or D, circling them. Try to target one mob if you can, but you really don't have to. This is a this is a little awkward of a position for me because my teammates are also trying to help and all. and so it kind of knocks everything out of what I ideally want it to be. But still, that's a strategy, and you'll see me use it more and more as the rounds go on, and there's more and more monsters. And also charge your crossbow before every round starts, because it's just a little bit of extra damage. Especially if you use it on mobs that are already aggro on you. But okay, this person got diamond armor and an iron sword. This is ideal, but I do recommend getting a crossbow. Okay, now these Dragonite are spawning. These are probably the most tricky mob to deal with, because they're frankly just the fastest. You know, 1v1, you can generally just walk through them as well, but I'd recommend being a bit more skillful and going back and forward. Okay, so it seems that my team's kind of... I'm gonna... But so yeah, this is generally how you continue. And so this strategy can normally get you really far. Upgrade order after this, I'd recommend getting diamond armor, which I'm gonna get at the end of this round. And then just focusing on upgrading your you're upgrading your sword to gold, and finally enchanting it every time you get. Just always go for the highest level of enchantment on the diamond one, because at least it guarantees an epic enchant, which is almost always better than like any other tier besides legendary, obviously. And it's also not that expensive later, because I already have enough to enchant something like that. Let's see, now I'm gonna get some diamond armor. Okay, why is my... what? Okay, it seems that I can't, but at least that's why there's... So you can just click B when you're nearby. So, like, literally everything's on my teammate, except for these two golems, so I'm just gonna deal with them first. When you're just dealing with two, you can be a little bit more janky. You can do more things that you normally couldn't. Okay, so my teammate just brought all of it onto me, basically. But that's fine. Like, as the group gets smaller, especially, and Dragonite are actually really easy to beat if you have two people helping, because they aren't really good at dealing with two targets. Okay, I don't know why my shop's bugging like that, but with 93 levels, oh, I can't enchant. Okay, I can't use the crossbow either. I don't know what's going on with my game, but at this point, you have plenty of levels. I recommend enchanting your armor. Start with your chestplate and leggings. I just personally find those best, although I don't think it matters. And here, this is the basic strategy. It just gets tricky like when there's more mobs. So here, I'm gonna try to get some more mobs in this. So you just continue holding that button and sprint. I think you can toggle sprint, so you can do that instead. It's these Dragonites you have to be concerned about, because they also have this like jump, and they're just faster, and they're really strong as well. Especially since I can't get any enchants on anything, they're really tricky to deal with. But when you get down to like zombies or frost zombies, they're really easy with this strategy. Yeah, this is gonna be a hard game though, since just solely because I can't enchant. But that's how you play. That's my technique to get higher in this game. Later on, when you get start affording it, I'd recommend getting fireballs. Like, I honestly could start right now, but yeah, corn an option, but I don't necessarily recommend it. These other foods you can use, but I don't necessarily recommend it, because they're not expensive or anything, especially late game. It's just like, yeah, before the round starts, immediately you can get like a plum and a coconut and pear, and it'll just make the round easier as a whole. But it doesn't matter all that much. Yeah, it'd be really hard for me to fight skeletons right now because I can't get better bow. But aside from that, these you can get, especially the splash instant healing potion. It's actually really good. It's just that you won't realistically be able to get it until you have your sword, armor, and ideally crossbow done at diamond. And this other stuff, like the shields and all of this, like these four, aren't very useful later in the game. This can be useful like in between rounds, but generally your armor heals enough for that. Shield could be useful, but it's so-so. Slowness, I understand, but I don't really use. Then there's Aura XP, which is actually really useful if you can enchant. I can't for whatever reason, but it gets you, I think, 10 levels instantly. So it does help, especially if you're just like a couple levels short. Like if I was at like level 68 or something, then I'd just get to 70 after spending 1 iron, I could enchant an extra piece. Special Resurrect all teammates. This is best like if you're playing with like 5 or 8 friends, or like 5 to 8 friends, and then you guys are and like they all die. You can just use this, spend 5 iron. You don't have to have any extra team lives. You just get them back. I know I'm not helping my team right now, but like it's mainly because I'm gonna probably leave this lobby since I just can't enchant. And enchants are a big part because like they can help you get max health and all. But generally, this is a strategy. As you get further, you just have to start getting more careful. And that's it for this video.